What's going on, guys? It's your pal T-Bro here, striking back like the Empire, coming at you with a brand new series of retro repaint videos. In the video today, we're going to be taking on the Mattel Carnotaurus and turning it into the 1994 Demon Carnotaurus from Kenner. Now, this is a super easy repaint that you can do in the comfort of your own home. So get your paints ready and let's get started. Alright, so like I said, this is going to be super easy. This thing is primed and base coated all at the same time with a nice flat black color. And this is going to be the base color of the Carnotaurus. So now I'm going to go in here and I gave it a little shot of this varnish just to flatten it up a little bit more. Seal everything up before I get going. Just want to make sure the paint isn't going to chip off any of these joints when I move it around. Now I'm going to go in with some of this ivory white. And we're going to do a little bit of dry brushing right under here on the belly part. Very, very light-handed dry brushing. We just want to accent some of those veins and the sculpted detail underneath the body. And if you don't have an airbrush, this next step you can just kind of ignore. But I'm going to blend all of this in together. But if you don't have the airbrush, you can just dry brush this right here. Do a few coats on it, and you should be good to go after that. This dry brushing is the same effect that I used on the Albertosaurus, just to give it that cool blue kind of white faded effect. I'm going to go in here with some of this white from Golden. This is just an airbrush paint, and I'm going to lightly blend this in here and kind of brighten up that belly a little bit. But if you don't have the airbrush, don't feel intimidated. You can just stick with the dry brushing. It will work just fine. This is just kind of make it look a little bit cooler. But again, you don't really need the airbrush for this part. You can dry brush everything and rock and roll that way and move on to the next step. Okay, so up next here, I'm going to knock out the eyeball real quick. This is some lime-colored green acrylic paint, and the Carnotaurus on the Kenner one, it has lime green eyes, so we're going to do a little lime green dot right here on the skull, in the eyeball area, and this is the hold your breath time. We're going to do this a little bit earlier here in the video. Normally I do the eyes at the end, but I just want to kind of get it out of the way. So yeah, hold your breath, put the little dot in there. And it's super, super simple. Just a nice lime green color. And then when you're done, you can just pop a little black dot for the pupil and call it a day. Next up, we're grabbing some magic putty. We're going to mask off some of the stripes on the face here. This is just going to kind of help me prevent some overspray. I don't really want to have too much cleanup work to do. And then I'm going to go in with the red paint. Now, this is the red paint that I have matched to the Kenner Carnotaurus when a friend of mine lent me his to make a dino damage piece for him. If you're not comfortable with mixing paints, you can just attack it with some straight red if you wanted to. But this is actually paint that matches the Kenner Carnotaurus. It's that faded red color. And to achieve that, I mixed a ton of different colors together. Lots of reds, whites, and oranges to really get that classic Kenner red color on the Carnotaurus. But again, you can play around with it, get some colors, mix them around. If you have the Kenner Carnotaurus, then you're already one step ahead of me because I don't actually have it on hand. So I have to kind of, if I run out of this paint, I have to make it again, which is going to be difficult for me. But if you already have the Kenner Carnotaurus, then it's going to be super easy for you to match that paint up. But if you don't, some reds, whites, oranges, and maybe a little bit of burnt umber in there just to kind of get that tone down a little bit. You don't really want to go with straight red because it's not super, super straight red on the Carnotaurus. It is a different shade of color. But this color that I achieved this way here really helps to make it look very similar to the one on the Kenner one. So now I'm actually just going to push this little button down in the back because I want to get the red on the neck. So I'm going to stick a little broken pair of tweezers in here just to keep that neck down. And I'm going to start building up the stripes. This right here is where you get to be creative. Now you can take as much time as you want. You can make them look identical to the Kenner one if you wanted to. But I'm just going to kind of do some cool red stripes on the back. And continue it all the way down to the tail. And just be artsy with it and make it look cool. This is kind of the rule of cool. You can do whatever you want when it comes to painting these dinosaurs. You don't have to make them look exactly like mine or exactly like the original. But this right here is just the style that I'm kind of going for. And really just building that red up with the airbrush. Now again, you can hand paint all this stuff. Will be totally fine. If you don't have access to an airbrush, don't feel intimidated. When you see me using the airbrush, you can do all this by hand. I have confidence in you guys. Next up, we're going to be doing the claws and the teeth. And the claws, I'm going to be doing this in some white ivory with some sepia mixed in because I want to get that white down to a real dirty color white like it is in the Carnotaurus. And this is basically just thinning that paint out. and going after those claws, both sides. We're going to do a couple of layers, a couple of coats on these claws because it's looking a little white, and I want to bring it down a little bit more. So once this dries, I'm going to check it and then maybe add some more sepia to it. Now the teeth. So we're going to take that same white color that I used, and I'm going to add a little of this yellow ochre from Createx in it, and we're going to go after these teeth on the Carnotaurus. I have painted the little fleshy membranes on the side of the skull right there. Just a nice light kind of pink color, kind of like they are on the one on the Kenner one, just to kind of match it a little bit. But the teeth here, basically straightforward. If you've painted teeth before with me on any of my videos, it's the same thing. You're just going to hold your breath, go in and knock these teeth out real quick. Like that, bam, look at it, popping already. It's looking awesome. So to finish this model off, because guys, we're done already, we're going to top coat it with some gloss first just to lock everything in. And then when I'm done, I'm going to do a couple coats of this gloss because I really want the mechanics. I don't want them to scratch the paint off when I'm using it or posing it for pictures. So then I'm going to go in with some satin varnish to give it that classic satin factory finish that we want. And that's it, guys. I mean, wow, we're done. What are we, like 6-something minutes into this video already? And we're finished with this thing. I'm going to go ahead and take some cool pictures of it. I really hope you all enjoyed this video. I hope you found it helpful. And if you want some more Jurassic Park related content, you guys know where to find me. Links will be in the description box below. You guys take care, and I will see you in the next video.